When the circle was still going on, this was an issue. Now, we're now all dating each other. And it sounds like, what are you talking about? But like, hear me out.
Orgies.
Your love, I'm gonna make you mine. There's something special about your love. I think it's one of a kind.
Next thing I wanted to get into, which kind of...
Next topic, guys.
Yeah, it kind of rolls off of that last topic. And I'll show you why it does. Because you're first you're going to be like, how the hell does this have anything to do with Kevin Samuels? But like, do you think that you can share friends? Can we share friends? As significant others, can you share friends?
Okay, so can significant others share friends? I say yes.
Okay.
But I also see the reasons why you shouldn't. Okay?
Why you shouldn't. So you don't think you should not. You think you should not share friends.
I think you can share friends. And I think it's actually, it works out well, right? It works out really well when, let's say I have a friend, right? And Dan becomes friends with this person. And then that person has a significant other and we can all be friends together, right? It's a really nice bond. That's like my dream, is to have like, you know, double dates and like our kids grow up together and all that stuff. I have been looking for a couple like that, right? But I also see when like me and someone could be having a strain in our relationship and how then that affects you and that person. So that's why I say, I think there could be a difficulty in, because if I'm like, oh no.
See, I don't want to make my answer always sound like a trick question and a pseudo intellectual, like, well, actually, I'm not answering the question, because it's kind of said like a yes or no, right? So if I had to answer yes or no, I think the answer is yes. I don't think I would agree with you shouldn't share friends. I think what you should do is, it's kind of like the 3 accounts. The 3 accounts is the like my like financial banking advice to everybody, right? You have an account, she has an account, and you have a shared account. Now your shared account can be your main account, right? So and this is what I'm saying about friends. Like, I have friends that are just my friends. It's always good if you can be friends with my friends, but they're not necessarily your friend, right? Like, you can just be like acquaintances, or you can be civil with each other.
I'm cool
whatever,
with all
right?
of your boys, but like friends, I wouldn't be like, I'm not calling up like Gabe or calling up Nick and being like, hey, what you doing? Like, if we were like planning something in like secret for you, like a birthday party, hell yeah, like I'd call them. Okay. But I'm not like calling them like, yo, Nick, like,
but which
what's
I think
going
is
on?
weird. Like, I think it'll be weird if I was that friendly where I'm like, yo, I'm bypassing my
but we could
friend.
like, I could be on the phone and be like, here, you want to talk to like, Dad, or you could be like, yo, Lisa wants
but
to
there
know
are
you
certain
or
people that I think you could mutually be friends with. Like, genuinely, I could pick up the phone and call like some of your friends from college, right? And like, it not be weird that I call that
but
person.
Are they female friends or are they male friends? That might also be the difference.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about that.
I wanted to say you were adding a complication to it, but like, I think it is easier if you're talking about somebody that is your same sex. So like, if it's my female friend, it's much easier for you to be friends with my female friend than like,
because actually
my male friend.
Probably this is your one friend that I have a like relationship without you is Tia.
But see, then you're contradicting yourself though, because then you're saying that like you're not threatened by Tia at all, and like.
But that's what it's a female. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we are the same sex, maybe that's what it is, and it's like.
No, I'm saying, yeah. Well, yeah. I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, because you're both females, then like, okay, then it might be easier for you.
But if it's like you've known, like, I can't use your cousins and things like that. Those are like your brothers, so that's a little different. But it would more be like your female like friends that I would probably. But is that weird? Like, would that be weird?
I think those are actually the best friends to share, is the friends that are your same sex, because like you're saying, I think it would be uncomfortable in most scenarios where if you're friends with someone who's the same, and like I get it, there's like, you know, there's a whole nother LGBTQ adds a whole bunch of other things into it. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking about the dynamic of like, if it's possible, like, let's just keep it simple between in our specific situation, because I'm not trying to open a can of worms. Okay. It's easier for you to be friends with my female friends and for us to genuinely share those friends, right? Just like it's easier for me to be friends with your male friends than for me to be like shared friends with your female friends, or you be shared friends with my male friends. I'm not saying there's no one that cross over those lines. You can be genuinely friends with someone. That's a little different. That's what I mean. Like, I think it'll be more uncomfortable watching you try to be friends with, like, my brethren, like, whoever, somebody I kickball with, or like my, you know, like you mentioned Nick or Gabe or something. It'd be a little bit more weird if it was like, yo, you on the phone with them and blah, blah,
like,
blah.
I'm close with them, and we could sit down, like, we've gone out numerous
and it's not
times
an
and, like, talk to them.
It really isn't.
But I wouldn't, like, pick up the phone and be like, I might, you know, like, it's Nick's birthday or something, and, like, you know, message, or like when Gabe was had a business, I'm like, yo, try to support, and like I made like an order for when he was doing the flan, but it wouldn't be like, let me kick up and be like, hey, how, you know, how's life going and blah blah blah. I think it's just not, like I said, it's not that I think you can. I think you can have genuine friendships that way.
It's a little bit more complicated.
I do understand the cons when it comes to
I'll give you an easy example. I remember going to, I'm trying to remember what it was. I want to say it was like my boy, I want to say it was Jade and Gabe's like the baby shower or something. Yeah, they had a game where you had to guess things about them, like who this is about, right? Mm-hmm. So they had a round with Gabe, and then they had a round with Jade, right? And say on like Gabe's zone, I was able to get like 5 things or whatever, right?
Out of what, 10?
Out of like 16 or something, right? Jade's zone, maybe I was able to get like 8 things or whatever. And I remember making this joke, and he wasn't threatened by this at all, right? I think we too, like, good. I'm talking from my perspective. I think we're too good for that. But I remember saying to him, damn, bro, why was I able to answer more questions about Jade than you? And like somebody else was like, I don't know, why don't you tell us why you can, and like doing that whole like, and I was like, bro, are you serious right now? Like,
okay.
Like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah. Like, really?
But the situation is, I was like, okay, I kind of, in retrospect, kind of get where that's like a weird, uncomfortable thing, and it's like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's I think you can share friends, but you shouldn't, that shouldn't be your only set of friends. I think that's what it is. So let's
talk about that.
There's a difference between like a circle of friends.
Let's talk about that.
Like, you're in a circle of friends, and that's the only people y'all really link up with.
Because, okay, let's talk about that. Because you kind of had an experience with that, right?
I had an experience where.
How would that be then if you have a partner where, like, okay, we're using each other. If your only friends were my friends, right?
It's that much more uncomfortable. It's the same reason. It's easy. It's an easy thing to respond to. You can't tell me that we should share a circle of friends, and then people don't understand why they say don't date in the workplace. It's too much. It's the same comparison.
Okay.
It's too much commingling. then there's no getting away from each other.
Is that because we're saying to ourselves the divorce preparation, like, only in case we broke up?
No. I mean, there's complications in that, but even when things are good, all right, I tell you what happened in my past relationship with this situation, right? We had a circle of friends, and actually, weirdly enough, there's a show on Netflix that was like that, where there was like this circle of college friends, and they were all a circle of friends, and the whole show was based around like the complications of them being like a circle of friends, right? And of course, when we actually broke up, it got more complicated because like she went on to be with somebody else that was in the circle, and then it was this whole weirdo, and I don't care, but like it's this whole thing.
But now the circle of friends are forced to choose between
the
two.
They made their choice, and I kind of understood, but I didn't really understand who forced them to make a choice, because like it didn't seem important to my ex to make a choice.
People feel that they have to make a choice, right? They feel.
I'm gonna tell you straight up.
Says it, but they feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't make a choice, I'm gonna be forced to make a choice. So they make a choice where they're like, all right, well, we see this person all the time, or I can't find some other friends.
I mean, what was weird in that was like, if you knew me first, to write me off and stop talking to me was kind of weird, and then everybody felt guilty about it, and I was like, bro, I don't understand.
That's the thing.
Don't walk around guilty about it.
I went out with you more than once, and it was like, buck up with members of this circle, and it would be like they're trying to apologize, and it's like, because remember that
literally they would apologize.
Yeah, like that,
a couple
that
of times.
Kind of happened
they
to
got
me.
drunk a couple of times
and
and
like,
apologized, and I was like, bro, what are you apologizing about?
Yeah.
Like, yo, fam, it's okay.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't really get what you're apologizing about.
Okay, yeah, telling you.
Which is weird, because then it was like, it was a weird admittance that they did cut me off. But
yeah, and I had a situation like that with one of my exes and like friends. And it was,
so yeah, I don't think you should share a circle of friends, but you're talking about like the aftermath of if you're not successful in the relationship. And when I say
that's what you're talking about too?
No, because what I'm saying is, even when you're in the relationship, it adds complications. Prime example.
Okay.
When like, okay, so that circle of friends was a real circle of friends. So like, my boy introduced me to his girl. I became good friends with his girl. So much so that even when he stopped dating her, I was still friends with his girl. His ex-girl.
Because you didn't choose that.
And the thing is, he understood, like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, Mac, why is still hanging out with her or whatever, right? But I think...
Do you think he ever wondered that?
It's possible.
Okay.
But I think what I should have learned from the situation when he disappeared out of the link was like, this is possible to happen to anybody. Don't think because you're still in the company, like all you managers out there, when the company makes you do like, that like effed up stuff to people, don't think they won't do that to you when it comes around. Because you cool when you're in the circle, but when it come time to kick you out the circle, you can't be sitting there like, but I'm in the circle. Nah, until you're not, and then you get the same treatment. And I think that's what I should have and to be fair, in my defense, I remember when they just broke up, and my homegirl was going through like the breakup. So she was going through like the different stages of breaking up, being angry at him, blah blah blah, whatever. And she would try to vent about him, and I would tell her, like, I was like, don't do that. We can't do that, because first of all, you can't vent to me about him, because if without him I wouldn't know you. Second of all,
and I'm still friends with him.
Yeah, I'm still friends with him, but also don't make yourself look ridiculous airing all his dirty laundry, because if he was such a loser and such a this and a that, like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, don't do that. Like, let's be respectful for when you guys were together. You're not together now,
because
you can have your issues now, but
I've always said this, right?
And also when you decide to get back together,
thank you. Thank you. That's
you
a whole other topic.
Whenever to get a mock you, so said this about you, and it's like,
That's
yo, you the one that was like,
topic.
yo, he's the worst, right, Mac? Right, Mac? Right, Mac? And I go, yeah. And it's like, yo, Mac say it's the worst. And I was like, no, I'm not playing that game with you.
Can that be a topic? Can that be a topic either tonight or the next on our BS?
Of course.
Trust
so
me.
the circle of friends thing, that was one complication, but again, that's another like end of the circle, right? When the circle was still going on, this is an issue. Now, we're now all dating each other, and it sounds like, what are you talking about? But like, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, right? And I'm not saying like buying flowers. I'm saying like my relationship is good. Me and you are good, right? But now my boy,
Ricardo.
I'm trying to use a name that like
Ricardo.
I don't actually know somebody that's like
Ricardo.
Yo, so yeah, my boy Ricardo, he go do something and they get in an argument, and we were supposed to go out tonight. Well, now
everybody vexed.
Everybody upset. Some people don't want to go now without that person, and it's messed up that you still want to go, right? And then it's also like, yo, then it's like, I did everything I was supposed to do, right? I want to go chill with my girl. But now that Ricardo done messed up, yo, my girl got to go hang out with Ricardo's girl because Ricardo's girl is mad at him.
Okay.
So now I got to pay for my sins and Ricardo's sins.
But is that like we 22 kind of vibe? We're like, 23 vibe, or is this like is this a dynamic that happens when we're like in our 30s?
When does it stop?
I don't know. I think like that's kind of childish. Like I don't know if that like I'm saying it's childish because I was doing that, but we were in our 20s. Like
I agree with you, and we were in our defense. We were, but what I'm saying is the circles that continue.
But does that still
when does
happen?
it stop?
I don't know. I think you can still have a dynamic of friends even into your 30s, but I don't know if anybody that's 35 and up.
But if you were like that when you were 20, when do you hit the brakes and be like, okay, we were super close, and if he messed up, they all messed up, but now that I'm 30, we're not gonna do that. You don't stop that.
I don't know.
And then and actually when you get older, you start paying for other people's things. So like, what start happening is as you start to get age into like marriage and kids and all the other stuff, right? Me and you are doing our thing. We're okay. Then Ricardo go propose to his girl. Well, everybody else that's in the circle's like, and this will happen even if Ricardo was just my friend and you didn't know Ricardo, right? But worse now, you are friends with Ricardo. That proximity becomes even that much closer.
Okay.
Right? Because I remember when my bridging did that with him girl for like 10 years or something insane, 12 years, 14 years, something. And then he proposed on New Year's. And like my girl at the time was like
again, that's in your
convinced 20s. That like, oh my God, he's gonna want to ask me to my, and I was like, yo.
But that's in the 20s though. I don't know if that's happening when you in your 30s, especially your late 30s.
I think you're overestimating how mature we are.
I don't know. Again, that could be another topic. Can we maybe let's kind of go into that real quick. If you again with a circle of friends, you're sharing friends, right? And you're in your 30s. We now 38, right? The dynamic of friends, right? You now, there's a group of friends, right? Now I'm pregnant. The other females in the group, right? So I said maybe you shouldn't be friends, right? The other females in the group now feel like a bit of pressure, like, damn, we should have kids, Like if you're used to going out like, oh, we drinking, we partying, yeah, we going in hard, right? And now it's like, okay, well, one of the friends get married. Another set of the friends get married. And then one of the set of them have kids. like it starts to change the dynamic of friends, of the friendship, right? Because you want to continue. Oh, we share everything, right? But when one segment of the circle of friends starts to do something a little different, it begins to complicate. So instead of it being a circle of bonding where we do things together, it becomes a circle of like pressure, right?
But that's what I said about Facebook, where it's like, oh, now you start comparing yourself to each other's like accomplishments.
When did you say that? That was
the last time that we spoke about it. I was telling
the last
you, like,
on our BS.
I was saying, like,
I'm gonna put the link.
You become like your own like pressure, right? Where it's like we're only trying to put our best. Like when I was saying like your narrative building, you're only trying to put your best foot forward, right? So you start to compare yourself to only your friends' accomplishments, only your friends' best things that are going on. You're not paying attention when they having an argument. You only paying attention to like, oh well, he took whoever, he took Jade on a cruise for her birthday. Why you not and you not taking into account like
so you're not making it sound very good. Should couples share friends?
I told you I believe in the 3 accounts. I think you can have a certain set of friends that you share, but you need to have your own friends, and they need to have their own friends, and then you can have a more balanced, like, okay, this person is only my friend, this person is only your friend, but we have a couple of friends that we can share and whatever. And even the people that are only my friend, like you can laugh, talk, and be acquaintances with them. But like I think when you share friends, it's dangerous when those are the only friends you really have, because your circle of friends becomes now your circle of influence, and that's all you have.
Your circle of influence. Yeah.
That's the only person that you're gonna come with something about. So I think that's that. All
right, so I'm agree with that. So sum that topic up. I think that is definitely true. We're gonna call that one the 3 accounts. You have your friends, I have my friends, and we have a certain set of friends that we can share.
Because it flows into the next thing. My next question, my next topic would have been, would past you love present me?
Woo!
Right? She don't want to do it all of a sudden. Now she don't want to do the whole
cover it up.
Peace, love, and nappiness or whatever.
Love, I think it's one of a kind. There's something special about your love. I want it all the time.